how they get down the sand dune.
Hello, travel buddies! We just spent 18 days exploring the Middle East, visiting 3 countries with a guided tour run by a global tour company. Now, as lovers of freelance travel, you're probably wondering why we went with a guided tour. Don't worry, I'll explain soon. So how was this trip in the Middle East with a guided tour? Well, beyond the incredible history, unique landscapes, and stunning scenic roads, we found ourselves feeling shocked, awkward, guilty, frustrated, and even annoyed at times. Was it because of the guided tour? Maybe, or maybe not. Curious to find out? And here's the good part. We discovered a smarter way to visit places where guided tours are essential but without the middleman like the tour company. It's a way to experience more and spend less. Stay tuned to find out how. The service provided by the tour company was actually superb. We were picked up from home and driven to the airport with our flight tickets fully arranged. It was 6,000 Australian dollars for both of us, including all international flights and domestic flights within the Middle East countries. We chose to book the guided tour because we are unsure about the safety of the Middle East areas, unfamiliar with the local culture, and anxious about many uncertainties, perhaps like missiles streaking across the sky. Watching the world news had shaped a stereotypical impression of the Middle East for us. We arrived in Cairo in the afternoon. I understand Cairo is in Africa, but it has a strong Middle East cultural foundation, so I still call it a Middle East country. A staff member from the tour company was waiting for us before we went through customs. After collecting our baggage, the staff guided us to the fast track for customs clearance, so we didn't have to wait in line. Then we were driven directly to our hotel in Cairo. By the way, all the hotels throughout the trip were 4.5 to 5-star accommodation. Another staff member had a short meeting with us, briefing us on what would happen next. After that, we had free time for the rest of the day. Before I forget, we paid almost 7,000 Australian dollars per person for the 18-day tour services, including the accommodation. As always, we didn't want to just sit around. Ian suggested visiting the Saladin Palace, which wasn't on the itinerary. The tour company staff said they couldn't arrange transport or tickets on such short notice. Plus, we didn't fully trust Uber in Cairo at that time. So we asked the hotel front desk if they could find a reliable driver. The staff were super eager to help. Later, we understood why. They offered a package including round-trip transport and tickets for 4,500 Egyptian pounds. It was pricey, with little room for negotiation. But we had no other option, so we reluctantly agreed, feeling a bit frustrated with the cost. But hey, the service was superb again. The driver was friendly, helpful, and made getting the tickets a breeze. He just doesn't speak much English. Look at the massive queue. It seemed like he had some inside connections and gave extra money to the ticket agent to help us skip the line and bring in our big camera, which we were initially told wasn't allowed. I realized that even if we had taken an Uber, we might have struggled to get tickets quickly, and without a storage room for the camera, we wouldn't have to been able to enter. Wow, rules can definitely be bent here with personal connections and money. It reminded me of my days living in China. Saladin Palace is a medieval fortress built in late 12th centuries by Sultan Saladin to defend Cairo from Crusader invasions. Later, it became a residence for Egypt's rulers. With its towering walls, fortified gates and watching towers, it reflects classic Islamic medieval fortress. The view of Cairo from the fortress walls is breathtaking. Look at the pyramids in the distance. Many newlyweds came here for photo shoots. Unexpectedly, many kids were super excited to see us tourists and kept asking us to take photos with them. The driver explained that they post these photos on social media to show off, hoping it'll help them find jobs in the future. Such a bizarre logic. When we returned to the hotel, the same front desk staff had been waiting there and asked if we want them to arrange a fancy dinner. We were like, no thanks, not another pricey arrangement. Later, Ying realized the high prices were because the hotel staff took a big cut, and the driver also needed to smooth things over with extra payments. With so many middlemen, the cost skyrockets, which explains why hotel staff were so eager to organize activities for us. We ended up ordering room service, which cost us 1,500 Egyptian pounds, 3,000 pounds less than the proposed arrangement. The portions were big. The quality was average, and there seems to be a lot of sand in the salad. I'm just being honest. This is not our bus for today. This is our tour guide Nader for the whole Egypt trip. We first met him last night during a meeting in the hotel meeting room. Until yesterday's meeting, we hadn't met everyone in our tour group. 2 young couples, 2 middle-aged couples, including us, and 1 gentleman. Some of us are from Australia and some of us are from South Africa.
They will come and offer you things for free. Take this, it's for free. And then they will come back and tell you, I have a family and I have 40 kids and blah 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 blah.
Today's theme is all about the pyramids. The Great Pyramid of Giza is the only surviving structure from the original 7 wonders of the ancient world. After passing through security, here we are, the Great Pyramid of Giza. By the way, apart from the tour fee, we had to pay an additional entrance fee of $230 per person for all the sites included in the itinerary, and the 3 pyramids we are visiting today are included. The tour guide Nader shared basic information about Giza and mentioned how dogs climb to the top of the pyramid as if it were a normal staircase. Well, they are not. The stones range from waist to neck height. Each stone was precisely cut and fitted. Ying climbed 2 steps before deciding it was too unsafe to continue. I've always insisted that the pyramids weren't built by 2-meter-tall humans, but by 5-meter giants in prehistoric periods, based on some legendary tales. The ancient Egyptians discovered that the interiors of the pyramids were ideal for preserving bodies, so they adapted them to serve as tombs for pharaohs. Nader mentioned that even with modern technology, replicating the pyramids would be nearly impossible. Yin, a firmer believer in modern science, usually laughs at the theories I believe in. But today, after struggling with the massive stones, he said,
I don't think humans built this. It had to be aliens or those 5-meter giants you talked about.
In the face of such wonders, humility is the only response. Time is luxury on a guided tour. We only had an hour to explore Giza. An hour later, we took the van to the next pyramid. Although the pyramids are only a few hundred meters apart, getting a wide-angle view requires going much further, up to 1 to 2 kilometers away. Walking on the sandy, uneven terrain under the scorching winter sun is no fun. In summer, it could even be a survival challenge. Walking past the camels, we reached the perfect spot to get all 3 pyramids in the background for a great photo. You can also climb to the top of that sand dune there. It's a great spot too. Leaving this spot, next, well, of course, it's the classic camel ride around the pyramids. It was not included, so we need to pay separately, 800 Egyptian pounds per person. Lean back as the camel stands up. Here you go. But from ground level to 2 meters high, it's still a bit nerve-wracking. Once you're on the camel, well, you've still got to be careful not to fall off this tall animal. It took me 5 minutes to get used to it, but the next 25 minutes of the camel ride were super fun.
So I have been riding on the camel for 10 minutes now, and look at the view. It's stunning. The 3 small pyramids belong to the queens. Yes, a professional camel rider.
Video?
This is what the camel boy filmed. Me sitting on the camel. Oh wait, the camera's not on my face anymore. Then the boy handed me the reins and asked me to lead the camel.
Here, video.
Please, keep going!
Oh,
After that, the boy kept asking, "Happy?"
happy?
Happy, yes.
with a serious, almost worried look, like he was afraid I might not give him a tip. After the ride, I asked him to give the boy 100 Egyptian pounds as a tip for his good service. I didn't want to disappoint him, but Ian said his camel guide already took 200 pounds as a tip for both of us and claimed he'd share it with my boy guide, so Ian refused to give the boy any extra. I felt uneasy, thinking Ian's guide was perhaps lying. Later, I went back to look for the boy to give him a tip, but he was nowhere to be found, already back to dragging camels for other tourists. Instead, I saw 2 camel guides fighting over tourists. Tip requests are so common here, and the service often catches you off guard, like this man suddenly helping Ian put on a keffiyeh. He requested £100 afterwards. These guys might also want to rape you. Next to the Great Pyramid of Giza, there are 2 smaller pyramids. While we could have entered all of the interiors, due to time constraints, Nader took us to the smallest one, the Pyramid of Menkori, built for Khufu's grandson Menkori. Nader said that the interiors of all 3 pyramids are similar. Nader warned us that if we had claustrophobia, we shouldn't go inside. He was right. The deep, narrow passageway made me panic, not because of claustrophobia, but because I had to walk down while bending my whole upper body due to the low ceiling. The deep incline only had wooden 5-centimeter stoppers for footing, making it easy to sleep. I'm 5'1", and I can only imagine how much harder it was for taller people. Finally, we can stand tall. This is the burial chamber. Another thing I forgot to mention, it's super hot down here. We lasted 10 minutes, cutting it short of the 15-minute limit, because honestly, who wants to risk overheating or passing out in an ancient tomb?
It's absolutely 100 degrees in there.
From the entrance of the Pyramid of Menkaure, you can see the second largest pyramid, the Pyramid of Khafre, built for Khufu's son nearly 5,000 years ago. Look at the remaining smooth limestone casting at the very top. Pyramids had bright and reflective surfaces when they were first built, but it's something that we can only try to imagine now. Two kilometers away is the Great Sphinx of Giza, facing directly toward the Pyramid of Khafre. We could see 3 pyramids from here as well. First, we stood right in front of the Sphinx, taking in the view. Wow, it's such a wide open space. It feels like the Sphinx is on the stage and we're the audience. Then through a small side door, we found the platform where everyone takes those fun kissing the Sphinx photos. So after 3 hours and 40 minutes, we've wrapped up our tour of the 3 pyramids. What time is it now? Oh, perfect timing for the Emporium. Our guide surely knows how to fit in shopping without messing up the schedule. But to be honest, I think it's worth a visit.
Right, fin, roll, like this way, and keep it one side the road.
The ancient wisdom I totally agree with. If someone has a good heart, the heart will be lighter than a feather after they pass. So stay light, travel buddies, carry fewer desires in our heart. Yin and I spent $50 the starting price on this papyrus painting of a pharaoh and queen, with our names written in ancient Egyptian hieroglyphs. I'll admit, 30% of it was peer pressure. Everyone else in the group was buying one. By the way, Egyptians seem to prefer US dollars over their own currency and often price things in USD. Other currencies, not so much. After a packed morning, it's finally lunchtime. You need to pay the lunch, which is not cheap, and also £10 for the toilet. This restaurant is only for tourists. Local Egyptians don't eat here. Lunch and rest are essential because the pyramid adventure isn't over yet. Almost 30 kilometers away is the Step Pyramid, the prototype of the Giza pyramids, built 200 years earlier. It wasn't included in the paid tour list either, and we paid 280 Egyptian pounds per person for the ticket. At first glance, This pyramid looks more like something built by regular people. It's made of stones that look like large bricks, but they're actually limestone blocks, and they were precisely cut. After knowing that, I couldn't help wondering again, was the step pyramid really built by normal humans? After all, people were still using mud bricks at that time. It was much easier to walk inside the step pyramid. Wow, check out the shaft. Nader said it goes 28 meters straight down, lined with precisely cut limestone. Could this really have been done by humans? While similar shafts were built later, none matched the scale and complexity. Ian even wondered,
This doesn't even look like a tomb. It was just used as one by the pharaoh.
now Ian and I are on the same page. Traveling indeed brings us closer. Alright, that's the end of the pyramid adventure. Or is it? After visiting the step pyramid, we went back to the hotel for a rest. Around 6 p.m., we were taken to the Sphinx again for the pyramid light show. It wasn't part of the paid activities, so we had to pay 1,125 Egyptian pounds per person for regular seats and dinner afterward. I should have brought a coat. It gets super cold at night by the pyramids. The light show itself was pretty average, not much different from what you see on a regular building or a structure. But on the pyramids, that's a whole other story.
What can be sweeter than walking in the fields before a man one loves?
I can no longer touch your heart. Why?
If I go walking, you are there with me, everywhere, with every step.
The perfect form was there.
With each new dawn, I see the sun god rise on the far bank of the Nile in its first glow. As tomorrow I shall see the east burning with a new flame.
Then we had dinner here, a buffet. The food was pretty average. Next, on Yin and Yang's adventure in the Middle East.
Oh.